Hi guys, welcome back to the Tertiary Mentorship Program. We're a few videos in and I hope you're enjoying them. But today I wanted to talk about something very, very specific, and that was about realizing your potential. I know a lot of people, and we've even got you to consider kind of what career path you want to go down, start thinking about that as you're applying for QTAC applications. But there's a lot of things you do need to consider, and we've already started to touch on all these different things. But I think one thing that's really important to mention that we kind of haven't yet is, you've got to realize your potential. Every single one of you have the potential to do really great and amazing things. And I was in a discussion with one of my friends from university last night, and I was just kind of talking about this exact thing, like your potential and what you can achieve. And I just found the general consensus was, everyone did believe they could achieve kind of whatever they wanted. And I engaged in these same kind of conversations from people back home, and it's not the same. It's not the same conversation. It's not the same um, kind of thought process that goes into achieving your goals. A lot of people don't believe that they can't achieve certain things and that things aren't available to them and that their circumstances or their abilities aren't going to be able to achieve these goals that they, secretly want to achieve. I know a lot of people get asked their goals, and you're probably getting asked 100 times from family and friends what you're going to do next year and what you're going to study, and everyone has their own little opinion to give you. But I just wanted to kind of mention that, like, when you get to university, you'll meet people who genuinely believe that they're going to achieve some amazing, grand things in their life. And these kind of goals aren't really shunned upon at all at university. I think people genuinely believe that their peers are going to go very, very far in life. And it kind of makes me wonder why is it that, in school and things that people or my friends that went to very prestigious schools are already of this mindset, already believe that they can achieve whatever they want. And it just kind of bothers me that, we're not having that exact same mindset just because of, where we went to school or where we grew up, that we're not having the same mindset on success. I think it's so important to have a really positive relationship with what you believe you can achieve. And I genuinely believe that everyone here can achieve whatever they set out to do. There needs to be the next pioneers of every industry. That needs to continue happening because innovation is needed more than ever, and every single industry has the opportunity for someone new and someone that is still in school right now that is going to be one of the biggest people in the industry. And I genuinely believe that anyone watching has the potential to do that. um, but the first step to that, and doesn't have to be, is applying to university. Education is one of the greatest social mobility tools ever. In the world, but also specifically in Australia, where we have a fantastic setup with how to repay your debts for student loans. You don't have to pay a cent, and it makes sure that people like us are not priced out of education, and we are actually given that opportunity. And I feel like it's a crime to not take that opportunity up. And I genuinely think that everyone is capable of, whatever they want to achieve. And I just wanted to kind of like break that down. And I am going to link a video, kind of like a motivational video of what I watch pretty often to remind myself, what I can achieve. And I know my goals are pretty big, and I know that that's kind of unusual. I wouldn't say that everyone has goals that are, this big or um, is similar to mine. But I just wanted to make sure that, whatever it is, big or small, that you want to achieve, that you genuinely can achieve it. And I remember reading something once about telling people your goals, and I guess I've always kind of had pretty big goals, and my family knows that as well. But if you're telling someone your goals, or you're telling someone, like, when people are asking you right now what you're going to study next year, maybe even teachers are asking you what you're going to study next year, and you're telling someone your goals or what you want to achieve and why you want to study what you want to study. And if someone kind of tells you that's unrealistic, or that you need a backup plan, or you should do a double degree with something that is more practical, or something that will get you a job when you graduate, honestly, I think that is so silly. Having a backup plan is like when you leave something and you want to achieve something, it's like a tie to the failure of what you want to achieve. Because when you have something to fall back on, people need to take risks to achieve success, right? But, to be a risk taker, having all these pillars of safety behind you, really gives you a cushion to fall back on. And that cushion is safety and risk go here and here. They're complete opposites. Risk is not safe at all, but what it is the gateway to success. So if you're building safety around all these things that are not what you want to define your own success by, then you're really going to be setting yourself up for failure. Even if you do think it's a smart idea to study something so that it's more employable, or that you do have a backup plan or something to fall back on. And obviously that's a personal choice of yours. If your parents are in fact paying for a lot of your accommodation or studies, then I do think they do get a say in what you study, or at least get their opinion heard. But if you're doing this all on your own, um, why are you letting someone else kind of depict what you're going to study? I wouldn't take anyone else's opinion into consideration unless that person that you're talking to has already achieved what you want to achieve. And if they haven't, then their opinion is kind of like, it doesn't mean anything. That you're going to get people tell you that things are unrealistic, or you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve, or maybe you should get, that's great and all, that's a great goal to have, but you should have different avenues just in case. And although that sounds great on paper, what you're really doing is you're creating the safety net, and you're going to be more likely to fail if you have backup plans, which is just, it's a weird concept, right? That your family or your friends or your teachers tell you to have a backup plan so that you don't become a failure. But you're more likely to fail your original goal if you have a backup plan. And I just wanted to kind of make sure that everyone is considering that. And I mean, that is coming from someone who does study a quite employable degree, but just in case you guys are thinking about just studying a degree that wasn't your first choice, I'd just be considering that before you finalize your QTAC preferences. And also, if you have kind of secret goals you don't tell people because you are embarrassed by them, or you think that these goals are unrealistic, and you can't be bothered kind of trying to explain that to family and friends, make sure that what you're going to study is reflecting what your true goals are, and making sure that you're going to be studying something that you enjoy. And you don't have to enjoy every second of your degree. I don't think anyone does. But you do need to enjoy your career prospects and where your life is headed. I know I was really confused about what I wanted to study because there was a lot of different things that I liked. I picked I had a lot of variety in the subjects I studied in school, and I was really confused when I was putting in QTAC's preferences, and I had no idea what I was going to end up in. And I ended up in the perfect degree for me, but I know that's kind of pretty unlikely. But yeah, just wanted to jump on this episode and just say that you are capable of achieving whatever you want to achieve, no matter how big it is. And honestly, if you don't have big goals, maybe make some bigger ones. I genuinely think that everyone can achieve whatever they want to achieve, and if you put your mind to it, you're going to achieve it. And if you think you're comparing yourself right now to people that are smarter than you, so have better grades, or they seem like they're going further in life, you'd be surprised when you graduate who is actually following through on their plans, and who's pulled out of their plans and is living a more safe life. And I think if you feel like you're comparing yourself to smarter peers, or peers that get better grades, then that's really not a realistic indicator of future success. And although it can be, it's definitely not in a kind of general sense. And if you're thinking, oh well, these people are smart, when I get to university, everyone's going to be smarter. You're right. But everyone's goals are also bigger. Everyone's so more open-minded. And to be honest, if you don't enjoy all the subjects you study at school, but you enjoy one subject, then that subject you can make your whole degree out of, or something related to that. So you're not going to be studying subjects you're not passionate about, and that's kind of where passion plays a role in it. And I think that although you might not get the most amazing grades in school right now, there's people that completely turn their academic success like do a full flip. There's people that I know. One of our mentors went from, I think they were a bit disappointed with their OP, but completely changed it around and has been on like the Dean's Honors list of QT this year, and that's an amazing achievement, right? And that's completely switching your academic success around. And you can't be dumb to get on the Dean's Honors list of a major university. You have to be very driven. You have to be quite bright. But I think, in saying that, you know, being bright is not as near important as being hardworking and driven. And that hard work and drive is what's going to actually continue your success in the future. And yeah, I think good luck to everyone. And I just wanted to put this video out there just in case you're questioning your potential, and making sure that, you know, you are picking what you want to do, based off what your true goals are. And whether you've told people they're your goals or not, just keep in mind your parents don't need to know what you study until like the day before you leave. So if you if you are having trouble, you know, explaining to your parents like your goals and things like that, it is your own life, and especially if they're not supporting you financially, I really don't see how your family should have even the slightest say in what your future is going to be like, especially if they're not investing in it. And that's kind of the outlook I had. And you know, my parents weren't very you should study this or you should study that, or if anything, they were a bit more like, you know, maybe you should take a gap year and work and things like that, because I obviously wasn't in the best financial situation. And although on paper that's, you know, that's great, um, what really would have happened, and I like working. I love going to work. I love, you know, getting output. I love everything about working. I work extremely hard, and I love having a job and working multiple jobs, and I still do it to this day. But what would have happened is I would have stayed in a hometown. I would have enjoyed working, and I would have just continued working because I wouldn't see the I'd be earning money, and money, you know, short term money seems better than investing for the long term. But you'll learn that people that invest in their futures out earn people that start earning straight away in a matter of years. It doesn't take long at all. So just take that into consideration, and all the best of luck. Enjoy your last holidays. Take it off. Don't think about school too much, and then come back and absolutely smash that last semester. Good luck, guys, and just put a lot of thought into your QTech preferences and make sure that you're keeping a picture of what you want your life to look like in mind when you are picking your preferences. Okay, I'll see you next week.